By forever fairy tale of freestyles. By forever fairy tale of a freestyle. Knowing how you love the birds, I fixed them to the trees so they wouldn't fly away, so you would stay, and you remained silent and never questioned my bloody palms, and or reproached the birds, because they didn't sing. It couldn't last, of course. No new birds came, and those crucified were taken by small animals or simply disappeared from the nails. I was sure then that you would leave me. Finally, I confessed, trembling. I brought you the hammer and showed my broken fingers, leaves and branches in my hair, the diagrams of autumn on the sky. And you smiled and said it didn't matter about the birds, and drank at my tears like a rare and fragile wine, that they too would not be wasted. I came to you so carelessly. There were those who thought I had not been warned. I can only point to the false lovers who carried marks where you had pressed coins into their palms. I admit I was impatient for your scars. The rumors followed us as easily as if you murdered me every night. Rhyme after rhyme after rhyme, a hemlock in my evening wine, loosened a banister on the stair. The dull villagers and draft princes waited still and at distances for grave news, and relentless until I could only point again, until off popped my head, never stopped rapping, never ending again, at their eyes, at their jealous eyes, and whisper a forever rapper. I had discovered why you handled me as though I were made of glass. I know they want to know about our bodies, our virginity confuses them, and they are reduced to words and silences. What shall we allow them to believe? We are 1,000 years old, no histories and nothing to contest, to confess. Be a mermaid, be a mermaid who doesn't settle for making a small splash. Be a mermaid who doesn't stop until she makes tidal waves. Be a mermaid who knows to stop before she devastates the world with her tsunamis, walking through the ruins on your way to work that do not look like ruins, with the sunlight pouring over the seen world, like hail and or melted silver, that bright and magnificent, each leaf and stone quickened and specific in it, and you can't hold it. You can't hold any of the distance surrounds you, marked out by the ends of your arms, when there they are stretched to their fullest. You can walk no further than this. You think walking forward, pushing the distance in front of you like a metal cart on wheels, with its barriers and horizontal appearance, melts away from you. The offices and pyramids on the horizon shimmer and cease, and no one can enter that circle you have made, that clean circle of dead space you have made, and stay inside mourning because it is clean. Then there's the girl in the white dress, meaning purity or of a future to be any color. She has no hands, it's true. The scream that happened to the air when they were taken off surrounds her now like an aerial of hot sand, of no sound. Everything that has bled out of her. Only a girl like this can know what's happened to you. If she were here, she would reach out her arms towards you now and touch you with her absent hands, and you would feel nothing, but you would be touched all the same. Skin as white as virgin snow, ice crystals grown from dust motes, specks of earth thrown skyward, snow white, lips as red as prickled blood, first blood unfolding like the virgin rose, whole and of herself, rose red colors of the goddess. Clues. This tale is more than it seems, aren't they all? When Lee Betty knocks on their door, midwinter, matted ice and snow, giving him a rasty look. The town goddesses invite the wild in, serve him tea and comb his fur. No sign of gold at first blush. Then what? Did they watch Jack Frost breathe on their windows and listen to ice crack into wintry art? Their version of cable today would they gulp beer and eat chips and watch television. The three of them will leave Betty complain about the commercialization of all things sacred as he clutched the remote. Let's live off the grid, he'd mutter, while Snow White and Rose Red painted, their fingernails black as pitch, and their lips red as a horse candled tongue, a Goth or harlot, or perhaps before the barbarators their domain. The sisters are hippie girls, a wandering modern like, looking for some hitching rides, living off the land, eating huckleberries. They wonder why their mouths water, wonder what is they have lost. Why does it ache so much? So when a man in gold knocks on their door midwinter, they pull him aside, shining him on until they spot the fur beneath the gold. Let Betty rhyme karate. We are the youth of the nation. Never stop rapping off the top of my dome. Down the yellow brick road, off the top of my dome. Down the yellow brick road, never stop it, don't you know? Off the top of my dome, down the yellow brick road. Don't you know? Never stop rapping again. I guess you think you know the story. You know the story. You don't. The real one's much more gory. The phony one, the one you know, was cooked up years and years ago and made to sound all soft and sappy just to keep the children happy. Mind you, they got this first bit right, the bit where in the dead of night the ugly sisters, jewels and all, departed for the palace ball, while daring little Cinderella was locked up in a slimy cellar, where rats who wanted things to eat began to nibble at her feet. She bellowed, "Help, and let me out." The magic fairy heard her shout, appearing in a blaze of light. She said, "My dear, are you all right?" "All right," cried Cindy. "Can't you see I feel as rotten as can be?" She beat her fist against the wall and shouted, "Get me to the ball. There is a disco at the palace. The rest have gone, and I am jealous. I want a dress, I want a coach, and earrings, and a diamond brooch, and silver slippers, two of those, and lovely nylon pantyhose, a dome up, done up like that. I guarantee the handsome prince will fall for me." The fairy said, "Hang on, I tick." She gave her wand a mighty flick, and quickly, and no time at all, Cindy was at the palace ball. It made the ugly sisters wince to see her dancing with the prince. She held him very tight and pressed herself against his manly chest. The prince himself was turned to pulp. All he could do was gasp and gulp. Then midnight struck. She shouted, "Heck, I've got to run to save my neck." The prince says, "No, at last, alack." He grabbed her dress to hold her back. As Cindy shouted, "Let me go." The dress was ripped and from her head to toe. As she ran out in her underwear and lost one slipper on the stair. The prince was on it like a dart. He pressed it too. "Tomorrow, mom shall be." No. She at last one slipper on the stair. The prince was on it like a dart. He pressed it to his pounding heart. The girl left. "The girl this slipper fits," he cried. "Tomorrow morn shall be my bride. I'll visit every house in town until I've tracked a maiden down." Then rather carelessly, I fear, he placed it on a crate of beer. At once one of the ugly sisters, of the one whose face was blotched with blisters, sneaked up and grabbed the dainty shoe and quickly flushed it down the double, and then in its place she calmly put the slipper from her own left foot. You see, the plot grows thicker and Cindy's luck starts looking sicker. The next day the prince went charging down to knock on all the doors in town. In every house the tension grew. Who was the owner of the shoe? The shoe was long and very wide. A normal foot got lost inside. Also, it smelled a wee bit icky. The owner's feet were hot and sticky. Thousands of eager people came to try it on, but all in vain. Now came the ugly sisters go. One tried it on, and the prince screamed, "No." But she screamed, "Yes, it fits." Whoopee. No. So now you've got to marry me. Prince went white from ear to ear. He muttered, "Let me out of here." "Oh, no, you don't. You made me a vow, and there's no way you can back out now." Off with her head, the prince roared back. They chopped it off with one big whack. This pleased the prince. He smiled and said, She's prettier without her head. Then up came sister number two, who yelled, "Now I will try the shoe. Try this instead," the prince yelled back. He swung his trusty sword and smack. Her head went crashing to the ground. It bounced a bit and rolled around in the kitchen, peeling spuds. Cinderella heard the thuds of bouncing heads upon the floor and poked her head round the door. "What's all the racket?" Cindy cried. "Mind your own business," Prince replied. Poor Cindy's heart was torn to shreds. "My prince," she thought, he chops off heads? How could I marry anyone who does that sort of thing for fun?" The prince cried. Who's this dirty slut? Off with her nut, off with her nut." Just then, all in a blaze of light, the magic fairy hove in sight. Her magic wand went swoosh and swish. "Cindy," she cried, "come make a wish. I wish anything and have no doubt that I will make it come about." Cindy answered, "Oh, kind fairy, this time I shall be more wary. No more princess, no more princess, no more money. I've had my taste of honey. I'm wishing for a decent man. They're hard to find. Do you think you can wait within a minute?" Cinderella was married to a lovely feller, a simple jam maker by trade, who sold good homemade marmalade. Their house was filled with smiles and laughter, and they were happily ever after. Lives the forever rapper. Happily ever after. Lives the forever rapper. Never ender, spitter napper. A never ender, don't you know? Well, there if I go, spitting notes into the phone. Well, why won't ever end, don't you know? Well, no. There I go. Go. Well, no. Uh, Consider a girl who keeps slipping off arms, limp as old carrots into the hypnotist trance, into a spirit's world, speaking with the gift of tongues. She is stuck in the time machine, suddenly 2 years old, suck in her thumb as inward as a snail, learning to talk again. She's on a voyage. She is swimming further and further back up like a salmon, struggling into her mother's pocketbook. "Little doll child, come here to papa. Sit on my knee. I have kisses for the back of your neck. A penny for your thoughts, princess. I will hunt them like an emerald. Come by my spooky. Come by my snooky, and I will give you a root. That kind of voyage, rank as a honeysuckle. Once a king had a christening for his daughter Briar Rose, and because he had only 12 gold plates, and he asked only 12 fairies to the grand event. The 13th fairy, her fingers as long and thin as straws, her eyes burnt by cigarettes, her uterus and other empty teacup, arrived with an evil gift. She made this prophecy. The princess shall prick herself on a spinning wheel in her 15th year, and then fall down dead. Rap again, a kaput. The court fell silent. The king looked like a Munich scream. Fairies' prophecies in times like those held water. However, the 12th fairy had a certain kind of eraser, and thus she mitigated the curse, changing that death into 100 years sleep. But perhaps it seems never endingly. The king ordered every spinning wheel exterminated and exorcised. Briar Rose grew to be a goddess, and each night the king bit the hem of her gown to keep her safe. He fastened the moon up and with a safety pin to give her perpetual light. He forced every male in the court to scour his tongue with babbo, lest they poison the air. She dwelt in this his odor, rank as honeysuckle. On her 15th birthday, she pricked her finger on a charred spinning wheel, and the clock stopped. Yes, indeed, she went to sleep. Indeed, rapping Monopoly. I am forever rapping a fairy tale poem prayer. I am forever rapping a fairy tale poem prayer. Forever fairy tale poem prayer.